Okay, welcome to our next video. If you recall, in our last video, we created a function that would calculate the distance between different points on the globe. So, for example, we could calculate the distance between Palmerston North and Sydney, and the distance between Palmerston North and New York, any 2 points on the globe you'd like. And while knowing the distance between 2 points is quite interesting, what would be quite useful would also be to be able to plot the great circles between 2 points, because the great circles, of course, are the shortest distance to get for one point on the globe to another. And so it would be awesome if we could plot those great circles on a map. So that's what we're going to cover today. So we're on page 21 of the guide, if you're following along. And what we need to do to plot these great circles on a map is we need to install a few more packages, specifically one called CartoPy. Okay, the problem is we don't want to ruin our currently stable Anaconda environment that we've been using. So we're actually going to set up a new environment in Anaconda specifically for mapping. Okay. And so the way we do that is we open on Windows, we open our list of apps and search for Anaconda. And previously we've just been using this Anaconda Navigator app to open, we would open this and then open Spider. But now I'd like you to actually click on this Anaconda prompt, okay? Okay, that opens up a terminal. So if you're a Mac or a Linux user, then you would just open up a terminal directly and you can enter these same commands. Okay, and what you can see in this Anaconda terminal, or this Anaconda prompt, is that we're in the base environment here. So this base means we're in the base environment. So this is the standard environment with your standard functions installed. What we'd like to do is create a new environment where we can map things, okay? And there are it's a three-step process given by these three instructions down here. So what I'd like you to do is type conda create -n mapping en-env. So this mapping env is the name of our new environment, our new mapping environment. So if you could go ahead and copy and paste that into your terminal, copy and paste the next one into your terminal, and then copy and paste this last line. So this last line is actually where we install the new packages, Basemap, a new version of Spider, and CartoPy. This last step can take a little while, so what I'd suggest is that you pause this video while you install that. Okay, so please go do that now. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you now have installed this mapping environment, you've created this mapping environment, you've activated this mapping environment, and you've installed this these three packages here. Okay, so one thing to remember, to be very careful of, is if we close this prompt box for some reason and then reopen it, then we're always going to open into the base environment. So whenever we close this Anaconda prompt and we want to go back into our mapping environment, we have to write the following command: conda activate mapping environment. And you can see now that our base environment here is now changed to the mapping environment. Okay, so it's important to remember whenever we want to create a map, we have to use this conda activate mapping environment. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just type Spider to launch the word processor Spider, and then we're going to modify our code from last time. So this is the code that we had in the last lab, where we calculated the converted northings, converted to eastings, and calculated the distances between 2 points A and B. And we have we had a single point A, but multiple points B. So we had B0, B1, B2, B3. So 4 B points. If you recall, we looped through each of those points, calculating the distance between A and each of these points in B. So I'm going to create a new file here and get rid of that junk. And I'm going to save that as lab Python 4. Remembering that it's very important to end your the name of your file with the .py extension so it knows it's a Python file. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste everything from the last lab into our new lab here. So at the moment, nothing's different between the last lab and this lab. Okay, but if you think about what I need to do, I need my to find my points on the map. I need to convert these to northings and eastings first. Okay, so my A lat 40 degrees north is okay. My A long 70 degrees east, okay, that's okay as well. But my some of my B lats, for example, B lat is 61 north, that's okay. The next entry in B is 10 degrees south, so that one we want to change. I might just actually get rid of these extra points for the moment, and we'll just deal with 2 points at a time, at least to start with. So we're looking to plot the great circles between point A and point B1, or let's say B0 and point B1. Okay. So this code, we can leave this code in here. It calculates the distance between all these points. But what I might do now is calculate the northings and the eastings. Okay. So of course, I already have a code to do that, convert to northing, convert to easting. So we're just going to use these entries there. I'm actually just going to borrow the code from down here. So I'm going to say A lat new equals convert to northing A lat and A lat direction. I'm going to say A long new is convert to easting A long over here, A long, and A long direction, which at the moment is east. For B, I'm going to have to loop through the entries in B. Okay, so I'm going to go well, actually, before I do that, I should actually create a B lat new, create an empty array for B latitude and an empty array for the B longitude. And then I'm going to loop through each of the entries in B. So for I in range 0 to the length of B lat, I'm going to basically calculate these things. I'm going to calculate B lat, I'm going to call it B lat 2 and B long 2, and into these convert to northing and convert to easting commands, I'm going to enter B lat I, A lat, B lat direction, I, B long direction, I, and B long, I. Okay, and then once I've calculated this B lat 2 and B long 2, I'm going to append it to my empty arrays B lat new. Okay, and then similarly B new dot append B long 2. Okay, so hopefully that is all good. Okay, so I might just check that we're calculating these things properly before we end this video and move on to the next one where we're actually plotting things. So let's print B lat equals plus str B lat new. We'll check B long new as well. And I guess we should probably check A as well, make sure that's worked. A. All right, let's save and run that just to make sure that's all working. Okay, great. So we've got B latitude. So remember the first point in B was 60, the first latitude in B was 61 north, so that shouldn't change. So 61's good. The second was 10 south, so that should become -10 north. So look, -10, that's good. And we've also, our easterly hasn't changed here, and we've gone 360 minus 20 is 340. So everything is looking good here. So in the next video, we'll modify this file to actually now plot the distance between A and both of these B points.